Aloha. What's up, fam? This is Joshua, and I am wanting to get real with you. I want to reveal myself to you, and I'm going to do it while I'm doing some of the somatics that we're going to be doing daily throughout this cleanse, throughout this process that we are beginning very soon, because I feel like it. And because I want to give you a taste, a little bit of what happens inside the dojo, inside the container that we're holding here. We're going to be doing lots of movement practices and breath and sounding to really open and expand and deepen our awareness and inhabiting of the body. We're not trying to leave the body with this cleanse, as a lot of sort of spiritual traditions might suggest. This is a coming home to the body. This is coming home to being the sovereign occupant of this incredible carbon-based vehicle of consciousness. This vehicle of consciousness that life has been lovingly and patiently preparing for billions of years. We are ancient awareness inhabiting carbon-based bioelectric systems. And we're learning how to operate these things. We're learning what they're really for. And part of the cleanse process is stripping away all the ideas that we have been we've been conditioned to believe around what the body is for. If you listen to society, body is for looking good. The body is for producing things. The body is for being used sexually. What else is the body for from the colonizer construct? The body is for staying in line and doing what it's told to do by the mind. The mind is the dictator and the body is the populace. That's the way that we've been conditioned. And this cleanse is not about leaving the body and getting caught up in the mind. This cleanse is about coming down into the body with pristine awareness. Because here's where I'm gonna get real with you. I think if you're watching this video, if you are here on the planet feeling the awakening that is happening and moving through the waves of these different initiations and challenges that we've been facing as a collective, as a global collective for the first time ever in human history, if you've been paying attention to this and if you've been allowing it to work on you, if you've been taking the medicine of COVID-19 and of all these global crises and of the heating up of the planet, if you've been taking this medicine, you're here, then you're one of those warriors of light and love that have been prophesied by our ancestors to come to restore justice to the world and to awaken love once again, to dissolve the grip of fear on humanity and to awaken love once again, and at a whole new level at the heart of humanity as a collective. Yeah, that's my world. That's my experience. This is how I perceive life and live and respond to life, is that we are those ones. I am that one. And because of that, I'm not an expert at all in what's happening. None of us are. We're all just doing our best to show up with our intelligence and our clarity of mind and our open-heartedness and our embodiment to meet the challenges of life, of this incredible epic of human history. Wow. Wow. And meanwhile, a great deal of our inner work and the work of the revolution as it is forming is the work of transmuting our trauma, transmuting the ancestral karma and trauma that we have inherited in these carbon-based intelligence factories. And there's a lot of it. My grandfather just passed away 2 days ago. Bless his heart. And he fought valiantly in 3 wars for America. The Second World War, the Korean War, and the war in Vietnam. And I've just had such healthy tears today in honoring and acknowledgement of his courage and his strength and all that he shielded me from so that I didn't have to experience that. All that he gave himself to because he felt like it was the right thing to do. And the memories that he carried for the rest of his life that damaged his ability to be happy, truly. So every generation is doing their best, has been doing their best to prepare the ground for this moment. And this body and this incredible life force that I've received from my grandfather through my father to here, to this one, and that I've gotten to pass on to my son. There's some trauma in there. There's some pain in there. There's war in these veins, in this DNA. There's atrocity. There's violation. And that has to be purged. That has to be released because it wants to replicate itself through us. That's what it does. That's what trauma does. That's what colonization does. It replicates itself in whatever environment it finds itself in. Instead of, like our indigenous ancestors, come to a place and listen to the place and become indigenous to that place by being guided by the beings that are there and the ecosystem about how to live in climax in that place. That's the indigenous way. Colonizer way is to get in there and make it yours. Make it look like your other thing that you already did. So, releasing, cleansing, and purifying our bodies of the reflexes and the tension and the holding. Cleansing our hearts of all of this grief and resentment and rage and pain and shame, and ultimately fear, because it's all about releasing our fear. It's all about meeting fear with love. The fear of not being able to succeed on this cleanse, the fear of how painful and how much suffering you're going to experience when you're not eating, the fear of not being able to attend to the things that matter to you because you're hungry or tired or having a headache, the fear of what might happen, all that fear that wants to keep us small and pull us back into the world that we came from and pull us back into the familiar and the known. It lives in our bodies. It lives in our bellies. It lives in our voices. It lives in our hearts. It lives very much in our minds, the stories we tell ourselves. So we're just going to be shaking it out. We're going to be releasing it. We're going to be releasing the passive tension from our bodies, our nervous systems. We're going to be cleansing ourselves energetically from any of the karmic hooks that we have been collaborating with. We're going to be cleansing ourselves physically of the toxicity that's built up in our fat cells and in our gut. We're going to be cleansing ourselves relationally by releasing karmic ties, by clarifying our own responsibility and kuleana in relationship and who we choose to be in relationship and how we choose to be met in relationship. And we get to claim that in our relationships with love and invitation and playfulness and creativity. So in all the dimensions of our lives, we're going to be looking and contemplating and releasing and really putting our heart and our mana into this, because healing is a participatory journey. Healing is a participatory journey. Healing is a participatory journey. It's a quest. It's a quest for our wholeness. And it cannot come find you and make you whole. That's not how it works. Healing is a journey that we must endeavor upon, that we must give ourselves to and devote ourselves to being the healthiest version of ourselves, to being the most loving version of ourselves, to being the most fit and badass version of ourselves. That's a participatory journey. That's something that we create by deciding and taking aligned action, right? We dream it, we decide it, and we take consistent aligned action, and we're gentle and patient with ourselves when we make mistakes in our learning process. So we're here to participate in our healing. We're here to actually give our manna and our prayers and our intentions to releasing ancient things from our DNA, releasing pain in our body that we've carried for decades, and which is itself ancestral trauma. If you look deeply enough at any pain in your body, any chronic illness that you've ever experienced, if you go listen in there, you will meet your ancestors. You are not the first one to feel that pain in that place, I promise you. And so we're learning how to meet that pain with love. We're learning how to shake it out. We're learning how to create more mobility in our spine so we can start to open the linkages and let all that chi, all that prana come up from our pelvis. We're learning how to open our hips and move our hips to unblock all this rich, creative, sexual energy and life force. We're learning to be unafraid of our sensuality, even as we endeavor to not be seeking pleasure and comfort through the sensuousness of food. That's just the one thing we're not doing anymore. And, maybe we're giving up a few other things in the process as well. I'll talk more about that in another video. But just wanted to come here and share with you in my own weird way what this is about for me, which is it's about coming home to ourselves. It's about purifying our minds, our hearts, and our bodies and our relationships so that we can go light, go easy, go playful into the life of love that we were designed for. And we can release the fear that lives in us, release all the holding and the holding back and the shame and all the constriction that keeps our voice from speaking our truth in the world and in our lives. We're releasing that, letting it go. What a grace, what a gift. We're going to be coming together as a community who's committed to this, and we're going to breathe together. We're going to create some crazy, beautiful mana, a mandala of prayer across this whole planet together, holding this frequency of love, of purification, of releasing, and of light. So we're working with the 12th gene key, which is the Siddhi of purity, right? Purity, that's what we're here to do. We're in Virgo season, or the Virgin. We're purifying ourselves, preparing ourselves for something magnificent. It's like when you have guests coming over and you clean your house out really good to make sure that they're just like, oh, wow. Well, those guests are our higher selves. Those guests are the highest, richest, and deepest consciousness that can inhabit this body. Dimensions of ourselves that we are not yet consciously connected to because of the toxicity and because of the false belief systems and because of the constrictions in our prana and our chi. We don't embody those dimensions of ourselves. And if we choose, and if that's part of your paradigm, we're also preparing these bodies to receive the Holy Spirit. We're preparing these bodies to receive angels and archangels to come in and redesign our DNA to emerge something even more beautiful than any of us has ever imagined, right from inside of these precious mysteries that we call our bodies. So, yeah, we're just drinking some juice for a few days, and I'm gonna poop out some weird stuff at the end on a cleanse, on a flush. Yeah, that's happening. Those are the facts. But man, the stories that we get to create around those facts. The stories that we get to tell, it's your story. This is your story. You can tell whatever story you want. That's the cool thing. You never stop being a creator. So whatever story you tell yourself, you're creating, baby. Go get it. Check it out. Check that story really well. Play it all the way out, whatever it is. But pay attention. And remember that it's your choice. You have a choice. You can tell the story that you are just somebody whose body doesn't work well with cleanses. You can tell the story that you wouldn't do well on this cleanse because you've done not well on other cleanses before. Or you could tell the story that, oh my God, like I've never done this cleanse under these conditions. This is going to be amazing. I choose for this path to be my path. And I choose to devote myself to it and to receive the manna, to receive the blessing of my fierce determination and to receive more of my soul into this human body after I clean it out and make the bed and put a little chocolate mint on the pillow. Ha! So I'm just here having fun. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm shaking, I'm bouncing, I'm happy because there are 3 days until we start drinking the juice. And I can't wait to meet you there. We're gonna practice some deep somatic opening that is, you're gonna get to take it with you for the rest of your life. You will, from this point forward, carry significantly less tension in your body always because you have these tools and can employ them anytime. To just let go. We're going to be doing a bunch of tremor work, a bunch of core work, a bunch of work to keep our bodies alive and moving. No stagnation. We're not here to stagnate. We're here to keep the energy moving. Energetic, and the emotional energy, the physical energy, the mental energy. We're going to be learning things and trying new things. The relational energy, practicing new relational skills. Oh, I look forward to meeting you on the other side. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. If you've watched this whole video, wow, thanks. And if you haven't yet, please check out the link that's probably in the comments here and see if this Master Cleanse is for you. We have a 40-minute webinar video that talks about, kind of addresses a lot of concerns, and you can look on my feed as well to see that we have some videos up around that as well. So aloha, mahalo. Have such a beautiful rest of your evening or day or moment, wherever you are, whoever you are.